So this next 8-minute film, you're going to hear from some of the amazing, eloquent, talented students from the Didcot Girls School. They'll be talking about the mental health approach in their school. I think you'll be inspired by their knowledge, by their passion, and by the leadership that they have demonstrated in their community. So over to the girls from Didcot Girls School.
The World Health Organisation's definition of mental health is a state of well-being in which the individual realises his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. How can we describe a concept like mental health in a definition? It's limitless, endless to what you could say about it. But it also has a different meaning to every single individual. Here at Didcot Girls, we're here to talk to you about what mental health means to us and what we do to support it.
I think it's safe to say that a school is a hotspot for a rollercoaster of emotions. And the reason why is because it's a place full of people. We all have mental health. We all have our ups and downs. And so we should all support each other in looking after our mental health.
A survey shows that 27%, which is more than a quarter of British teenagers, have said to have felt nervous, anxious and on edge on most days during the pandemic.
I think mental health is a hugely important topic for young people. Not only is it something that we see constantly on social media, it's also something that students strongly express the importance of in school. Our community prefects are a brilliant example of how young people value mental well-being. They are a group of students who give up their time at break and lunch to be a kind, friendly, supportive person for others to talk to. During my time as community prefect, we presented in assemblies about how to look after our mental health, providing information that we thought would benefit other students. Because who else is better to present to young people about mental health than us?
During Year 9, I was given the opportunity to take part in a project called Debating Mental Health. The main aim was to help us learn about our own mental health, but also how to help others cope with their own. At the end of the project, there was a debate where we got to give our own perspectives of how our mental health has changed during COVID to teachers, charity officials and teenage psychologists. The school is focused on gaining perspective from students. Our head teacher had a meeting with members of each year group to help gauge how we feel about mental health. This was to help the staff understand how they can better help students who are suffering with mental health issues.
During lockdown, me and a couple of other girls needed just a little bit of support because of the transition from Year 6 to Year 7 was a bit tricky. So the school set up a couple of organisations, Mind and a bit of counselling for me and some of my other friends. I found it really useful to go to my head of year and they would tell me to just breathe in, breathe out, have a look at my notes, and my notes were to just go to lesson, make myself busy, but go to them if I needed to, and I found that was really helpful. I also sometimes I go to learning support. They help me just to sometimes calm down and remind me that things are okay.
In Year 9, I took part in a Boxing for Wellbeing course. Before the boxing course, I was offered and tried different strategies which didn't seem to help. In the boxing course, there was a small group of us and there was no judgment because we were all there for the same reasons. While doing the boxing course, I met the school health nurse who offered me appointments during the lockdown, which gave me someone to talk to. I also joined my own boxing club outside of school, and the minute I walked through the door, it was like we was one big family. My coaches are there to support me whenever I need them. Doing the boxing course and speaking to the school health nurse showed me that there is always someone there willing to listen and help you.
As you all know, we were all impacted by COVID-19 in numerous ways, either intellectually, emotionally, physically, or even socially. Throughout lockdown, we were all stuck at our homes for 6 months, unable to meet any of our family or friends. This widely impacted teenagers, especially as we were restricted from going to school, which meant that our everyday structure and routine were to change and home learning was to commence. During lockdown, there were many students who were concerned that they had fallen behind academically, which therefore would guarantee a negative impact on their exam grades.
One of the ways that the school supports us is by reminding us that there are lots of people on hand to help. The school counsellor, the school health nurse, our heads of year, student managers, tutors, and all the subject teachers are there to support us. I think it's really important that young people know who is there to help, as students can often feel isolated, like we're the only ones feeling the way we feel. Mental health needs to be something that we actively look after, and knowing who to go to for help is a vital part of that.
At Teachers, there are various activities that are performed by students and teachers to ensure that mental health is well looked after. The school introduced the Wellbeing Toolkit a few years ago, which provides help and support for all students, advising them on their support circle, one of which includes the school health nurse, a reliable member of staff as well. We also have our Wellbeing Centre, which is a tranquil area where students can rest before lessons, as you can see here. During the lonely lockdown and in the present, we have tutor check-ins, which is another resource offered by the school, which gives students a dependable person to speak to, no matter how they are feeling.
Hi, I'm Grace and I'm a Didcot sixth form student. I went to DGS for 5 years, and one organisation I was involved in was the Community Prefects team. So I started Community Prefects in Year 8, and I got to kind of watch the organisation flourish and grow as we took on new projects over the years. So when I was starting out, our main projects were based on Mental Health Week and Anti-Bullying Week. We had things like the Be Nice bus come to school and kind of share the message of uplifting mental health and keeping people happy and safe in school. I also did lots of assemblies where we talked about mental health things important to us, to spread the message and encourage new people to kind of join and get a new perspective. But as COVID came around, obviously that was kind of stunted and we couldn't do as many projects. But the whole Community Prefects thing helped me build my confidence, and I was house captain at the time. So the things we were asked to do was make videos for assemblies about keeping a good mental health, and also showing outreach for support and giving some activities people can do to keep themselves healthy.
DGS has offered us so many beneficial experiences for learning about mental health. One of my favourite projects that I was a part of was debating mental health. This was the perfect opportunity for us to share our side of the story and what we wanted to change. The end result was great, but the actual planning and constructing of our arguments was really important and interesting too. We got to understand what mental health means to us and what we wanted to change for ourselves and the people around us. We used some great platforms such as Padlet to shape our opinions and get an overall collective on what we wanted to say. This project has really broadened my perception on problems of mental health and what I can do as an individual to change it.
DGS further proposes a vast range of assemblies, sometimes focusing on our achievements, motivating students and improving their growth mindset, and other times educating us about disabilities and raising awareness. We conduct chalk-ins and dedicate days to such occasions to learn as a community the significance of helping our mental health and reassuring and encouraging the people around us.
Thank you to all the organisations that support young people in looking after their mental health.
Thank you to Oxfordshire Mind and Oxfordshire Youth.
Thanks to the Debating Mental Health Project and specifically Laura Wallace.
And the Emerging Minds Network for allowing the project to go ahead.
Thank you to Ms Barrell and all the pastoral team.
Thank you to the school health nurse.
Many thanks to all local agencies, and we urge all young people to seek support when needed.
We're all in this together.
Thanks for listening and joining in, and no matter what your feedback is, please do join the online conversation using the hashtag YouthInMindTalksOxon.